whole reason why I'm really coming back this way is just because, well, again, the graveyard is right next to Kakariko Village, and I wanted to make a quick return here for its own sake. Just to, again, point out the fact that, well, I don't think they alluded to this, but, remember that, spirit monster seemed to break out of this well. So if we wanted to investigate, we could actually climb down this well. We couldn't do that before. Remember, as a kid, this well was actually filled up with water. As an adult, we can come down this way, but it's all blocked off. There's nothing we can do about it. But we actually want to come back this way, again, not just for the sake of investigation, but also because once we enter the Shadow Temple, we're not really going to be able to get very far if we don't have another item first. And it actually is at the bottom of the well. And this is the whole reason why we learned that Song of Storms from the guy in the windmill, is because what we can actually do is if we return to this point as a child, we can use the Song of Storms to drain the well. Then we'll be able to climb down and enter the bottom of the well, which, as it turns out, is actually the game's second mini-dungeon, much like how the Ice Cavern was a mini-dungeon. Beneath the Well actually counts as a mini-dungeon, and we're going to need to go down there in order to find this very, very special item. Of course, that kind of gives away what our next point is. We actually have to go back in time. We've never done this before. So what we're going to do is if we play the Prelude of Light, which I'm not sure that we've even played this song before, come to think of it, to warp back to the Temple of Time. I'm pretty sure that when we learned that song, actually, we had to learn that song from Sheik, and the last time we were back here, I believe Sheik did fill us in on the fact that if we returned here to the Pedestal of Time and returned the Master Sword back to the pedestal, as though the sword itself functions as a key that opens and closes the door between the two time periods, we can actually return to our prior time. So, let's give it a shot. Just like how before when we pulled the Master Sword out of the Pedestal of Time, we simply approach the pedestal, press the A button to grab the sword. Now we're going to drop the sword back into the pedestal. So, let's see if this works. Oh, crap! Look at that! We're a child again! Isn't that great? And look at that, all the equipment that we got as an adult, that's now grayed out. Much like how when we first became an adult, all of our child equipment got grayed out. And we're back to having to use the Kokiri sword. Unfortunately, no more Bigorin sword for us, at least not while we're a child. Now check this out, we can actually leave the temple. And look. Everything is back to the way it was. Isn't that amazing, eh? We can actually now, whenever the heck we feel like it, travel freely between the two worlds. I think that is pretty darn cool. Now that we're a child, we're going to go and explore, like I just pointed out, the bottom of the well. But first, we're going to do a couple other things. First, we're coming this way, obviously, towards Hyrule Castle. And here I'm going to turn at nighttime. I think I may have said this the last time we came this way, that it's just, for some reason, it's a lot easier to avoid these guards at night. Their vision is significantly reduced. Snappy just telling us the same thing. That monster came out of the well in the village. Let's go check out the well. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But we want to come this way first. Okay. Because there's actually a hidden hole that we couldn't access before. Now, most hidden holes are accessed either by breaking a boulder, that the boulder is simply covering the hole. Other instances, as we've encountered many, you have to place a bomb carefully in a hidden spot, and that will open up the hole. But this hole is a little bit different. There's a couple holes like this. There's a hole hiding right here, actually, but if you place a bomb here, nothing will happen. For some reason, this one is opened with the Song of Storms that we just learned. There's a couple of them like that in the game. Look at that. Hole opens up. We drop down. Obviously, this is only possible as a child because as an adult, the castle isn't even really here anymore, at least not in this form. So we've got these 3 walls here, so we can bomb them one at a time. There's a Skulltula and a gold Skulltula. Main reason we're coming down here. And let's see what's behind these other walls. I can't remember if it's anything really worth getting. I kind of feel like not, but we'll take a look-see anyway. So just another Skulltula. And the last door, number 3. I don't think... Yeah, I had a feeling it was just going to be another Gossip Stone. What I'm going to want to do, actually, though, is empty up one of my bottles and take advantage of the fact that I'm here right now with all of these bugs and try to grab one. There we go. Alright. May as well when we see them. And after all, 4 fairies, I mean, it has to be said, was a tad bit excessive. Alright. We're out of here. Now, what say, just as a quick way of getting out of here, we'll play the Prelude of Light one more time. Just to save a little bit of time. It's not going to take us too far, but, you know. And we're going to have to remember to turn this back to daytime, because remember, we won't even be able to get out as a child at nighttime because the drawbridge will have been lifted. As an adult, everything is destroyed, so it doesn't matter if it's night or day, you can just walk over the ruined drawbridge. But anyway, we'll come this way, and we will make our way back to Zora's River and revisit that frog course that I was talking about, now that we have the Song of Storms. Unfortunately, there's no warp magic that quickly returns us to that area. Again, there is that portal, but that requires being close to the Lost Woods, and not really. I guess we could use the Minuetta Forest to take us out to the Sacred Forest Meadow, but even then, it's kind of a traipse back through the whole meadow and then through the Lost Woods in order to get to that specific spot. Personally, I feel like making it on foot like that is just a little bit faster. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Our magic bean leaves have reverted back to their prior state. They're not the big magic bean leaves anymore that we can ride around. They're back to just being little sproutlings. Though, interestingly, the items that we picked up, such as that piece of heart that we only got as an adult, now that we've come back as a child, is mysteriously missing. Not a whole lot of consistency as far as time paradoxes go, but hey, it's a video game. What do you want? It's just one of those things you have to accept. Alright. Make it daytime again. Come talk to our frog chorus. Some frogs are looking at you from underwater. Okay, take our ocarina. Now see how the frogs are all nice and big again. So now we play our newly acquired Song of Storms. Wow, that melody is so cool. Ribbit. Singing in the rain. Oh, what a feeling, Ribbit. Please take this as a token of our froggish gratitude, Ribbit. Alright, see you, Ribbit. Huzzah! Get a piece of heart. Alright, so now that we have played the first 5 basic songs, the non-warp songs, to make each of the frogs big, and now that we've played the Song of Storms, in order to get that first heart piece, now what we can do is if we take out our ocarina one more time, check this out. Look at us. We're all huge frogs. We are the world-famous fabulous 5 froggish tenors, Ribbit. Make us jump so we can eat the bugs flying above us, Ribbit. So each of those frogs represents a button on the N64 controller. So that big blue turquoise-ish frog in the bottom left represents the A button, and then the other 4 frogs are the C buttons, right? So the idea is that a butterfly simply appears above one of them at random, although it's actually not random, it's the same pattern every single time. If you memorize it, then you can do it every single time. But it would appear as though it was random. But basically the bottom line is all you do is press the corresponding button to make the frog jump up and grab the butterfly. And if you manage to pull off the entire sequence without missing one, then they give you yet another prize. Okay, then ready, set, go. And that's all there is to it. Young boy, you did great. Perfect. We are stuffed, Ribbit. The white frog in the back didn't even get one. Would you take this token of our gratitude? And look at this. A second piece of heart. So this is why that little puzzle side quest, if you want to call it that, is not worth... is not one that you want to overlook, because you actually get half a heart container, essentially, just from playing a couple of silly songs. You got a piece of heart. Alright. We're up to 3. So now we are finally done with the frog chorus after all these many, many months since we first started doing it. Okay, I think we're ready to proceed. So why don't we play our Nocturne of Shadow to once again return us to the graveyard. Again, we don't want to go into where the Shadow Temple is just yet. We're not ready for that, but it'll at least get us close to the village. Right. And luckily, even as a child, we're still able to hop over that fence that looks as though it might be too tall. What's interesting here about this too is this is slightly morbid, but if you come out here at the right time, you'll be able to encounter Dampe again. It's like, oh no, man, I hate to tell you this, but 7 years in the future, you dead. Anyway, you can see here now. Look at that, the house is all unbuilt again. The one that becomes the shooting gallery. So here now, the well. See, it's got that. The wood beam is still attached, and the well is nice and full with water. Even with our golden scale, it's still too deep for us to be able to dive all the way to the bottom. However, we do have the Song of Storms. So, we come and talk to the windmill guy again. Look, he's all happy again. Go around and around and around. What fun, I'm so happy. I'm a music man who loves to go around and around. Go around and around. Okay, kind of a one-track mind, this guy. I'm trying to come up with a musical theme inspired by this windmill. Going around and around and around. Okay, so if we play for him our Song of Storms. Here's some inspiration for ya. It is interesting, too, how it basically creates this weird time paradox now where it turns out that we were actually the ones who played the ocarina and messed up the windmill. I can't really wrap my head around it exactly, but... So look at that. Whoa. For some reason, the windmill and the well are connected. So by making it spin around real quick like that, the well is now drained. Go around, go around, go around. What? It's going way too fast. Alright. Oh. Now, I should issue a really quick warning here. Prepare yourself if you're a little squeamish, because this mini dungeon, it has to be said, does get a tad bit creepy. But then again, that's just par for the course, because following this is the Shadow Temple, and that is even creepier, maybe.